Ocean Springs Community Podcast. I'm Cynthia Sutton.
And I'm Tristan Ruppert.
And we are here today with Mayor Shea Dobson.
Hello.
He is here to tell us a little bit about what's going on in the city and just a lot of things going on. It is Mardi Gras season right now.
It is.
And, you know, along the whole entire Mississippi Gulf Coast. But in Ocean Springs, we've had a few parades.
A few great parades.
Yes, we have. Yes. So tell us a little bit about how important Mardi Gras is to Ocean Springs. Ocean Springs, you know, of course, is known as an event town. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, we're definitely good at throwing a party. And so yeah, and so you know, just the downtown is just ripe for the parades, and you know that's where we like to just roll out the red carpet and show everybody what we're all about. You know, the day parade was amazing. Night parade is always good,
right?
And so
and Alderman, former Alderman. Now City Events Coordinator Chick Cody was the Grand Marshal, so that was kind of an honor for him because he works for both the Chamber and the city and has done so many things.
Yeah, and he does such good work with all the events with Mardi Gras and Cruising the Coast, Peter Anderson, all of our walks and runs. You know, it seems like we have an event every other weekend or something, and he's good at taking the bull by the horns. You know, my assistant helps with him, and he kind of she gets overloaded at times, so he kind of really spearheads a lot of the events. But yeah, Mardi Gras is something that's culturally, what we do here on the Gulf Coast. And so just being able to, be a part of that and just celebrate life.
Right.
And everything that comes
Well, I know
with
it means a lot to our business community, especially our restaurants. Mm-hmm. I think Mardi Gras is right up there with some of those you just mentioned, Cruising and Peter Anderson. Yeah. That really does. It's like an economic driver for our businesses. Yeah. This is what helps them sustain.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all of our events. Like I said, we like to roll out the red carpet and show everybody what we're about. I mean, it seems like every time we have an event, we get more and more people. So just, in our public works, in Parks Department, everybody and works for the city does a good job at cleaning up, both ahead and right. after.
And a lot of cleanup effort is necessary.
Yeah, it is. And I remember especially after the day parade, everybody was talking about how amazing Public Works did as far as just getting out there early and it's hats off to them.
They took care of that really quickly. Right? I remember I was out there actually reporting, and I just remember just thinking to myself, I was like, this place looks like you couldn't even tell a parade, right. Came through here just a few hours ago.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. I think they're kind of part of that team, though, because, like I said, we're an events community, so it's amazing to see what all they can do. I know you posted on one of your pages a video of how clean it was afterwards. Yeah. So that was kind of cool that you did that to kind of show the community.
Yeah.
It's not just talk, you showed it.
Yeah, Heather Easton posted it, and it was just, and even me, like I was looking at it, and I was like, wait, we've had a parade. Like, was this? When was this taken? Was this morning or when? But yeah, so it, but it's just going back to is Mardi Gras is I think it's something that's unique to the Gulf Coast. Mm-hmm. I was in Jackson the other day, and they were talking about, I was like, we got Mardi Gras coming up. Oh yeah, y'all got it. And it's like, I forget sometimes that not everybody has Mardi Gras. You
right.
grow up here getting out of school, and it's just a normal thing that we always do. But yeah, it's good to participate and have fun and throw a party. And of course we got to do it responsibly. But yeah, it's amazing.
Like you said, it's so easy to forget that not everybody celebrates Mardi Gras. And mm-hmm. part of the coolest thing is when I'm out at these parades, I love going to the night parade at Ocean Springs. One of my favorites. Mm-hmm. The coolest part is like meeting people that are from Michigan or right. Wisconsin, and they're just visiting, and they chose to come to our small town, our community, to really experience this beloved tradition. What's that like, knowing that Ocean Springs is known as a place to come and enjoy themselves?
Oh, it's amazing, and you kind of it's being able to offer that in an environment. We like to have fun, and of course you can kind of let your hair down and have some adult beverages and such. But I like to think that in Ocean Springs it's you're safe. That things aren't going to get so out of hand that you don't feel comfortable or anything like that. So that's what I take pride in. And our police department does an amazing job. We work with the sheriff's department and other surrounding municipalities and such, and so to be able to provide not only a fun place for people to come and just enjoy life and have fun and experience Mardi Gras, but in a safe, respectable, taken care of, high class environment.
Yeah.
So I like to think we are, but yeah, it's fun. Just showing what we're all about, and just the course of the downtown area, the whole parade route. All the businesses along there. We go and frequent them. I normally I ride in the parades, but this year I'm kind of just being a spectator. So I had fun.
So see a different perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and there's always, like you were just saying also, Mardi Gras is fun, but it really does bring people into town. And just like you said, all the people that come from different places, in kind of our community here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, is kind of snowbird season. Mm-hmm. So it does mean a lot to those people that come from Michigan, Indiana, all over, just to come out and be a part of all that. And then, of course, we want them to be not just come out to the parade, but come to our restaurants and all that. And it truly is an economic driver.
They're coming not only to experience Ocean Springs, but experience this great weather. I mean, February, March, to have temperatures like this, I can't blame them for coming down here having a good time.
Yeah, no doubt. It's we've had some rain over the past few weeks, and I know the rest of the state's getting hit. So we pray for them, but it's it's the stars have aligned for us, and the weather has been pretty good.
And glad we live where we do. There's not a lot of snow. We don't have snow.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons I live here.
Something we did want to bring up though, like you said, and like she always reminds everybody, Ocean Springs thrives on events. Take us through that aspect of it. As the leader of the city, you're well versed in how much businesses, especially in the downtown area, look forward to these events. How much does Mardi Gras mean financially to some of these businesses? Obviously, it's something that many business owners have to be looking forward to year round.
Yeah, and I'll just reiterate, it's having that many people.
I think a newspaper last year said like over 100,000 people.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I don't know if Peter Anderson and Cruising the Coast rival it, but I guess those are like the three big events that our bars and restaurants and retail and everybody downtown can look forward to. And the thing is not only do they get a bump and get some good sales during the event, but they get our ability to showcase so people come back,
creating return customers. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and so I think that's one of the things, and I think that's where our workers do a really good job at creating that atmosphere. So it's a partnership. It takes everybody. It takes a village to, the city to, kind of just set the landscape and make sure that people feel welcome. And then, the business owners just offering great products and great service. And
well, don't you think that? I mean, of course, they spend money on all that you were talking about, but that actually helps the tax revenue for the city, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And so, we want to do our best to, make sure we're spending tax dollars efficiently. So, part of that is making sure that the community looks good and,
right.
That we're taking care of infrastructure and, we got the parking garage coming hopefully pretty soon and. So yeah, it's just the being proactive and long term thinking about what do we have and how are we going to grow, so that we could continue to not only foster what we do have but make it even bigger and better, and just grow and keep funneling those tax dollars, because we're a growing city, and I've said it before, I feel like we're kind of at a growing pain stage. We're not this little quaint little town. That we have to understand that we are growing, but with that comes with keeping our identity and keeping kind of what makes us special. So it's an art, and
that makes me feel good to hear being with the chamber. Thank you.
Yeah, no, but it's true. It's you want to grow, but you want to grow in a certain direction, and so understanding who you are, where you've been, and what makes Ocean Springs special is something that you have to be really careful about. Just fostering, and we've got a redevelopment plan coming up. just everything we do with zoning and such is just we got to keep that in mind, especially our downtown area that where everybody comes, where all these great events are held.
Right.
Mayor, before we transition off Mardi Gras, one thing I really want to ask is, tell us, it's so different, the atmosphere between the day and the night parade. Take us through that. I mean, you've witnessed many, and it really is. They're two different things. They're beautiful both times, both unique in its own way. Take us through that. How different are they, and what makes them special each in their own way?
Well, obviously the night parade is. I don't know if wild is a little more. People show their inhibitions a little more.
A little bit more PG-13 might be a good way of saying
we'll
it.
Go with that. Day parade's PG and then PG-13.
Yeah, we got the family fun and then we got the night out on the town.
So no, but it's great, and I mean, and the thing is, the night parade is Friday was on Friday, and so, downtown Ocean Springs on a Friday night is always a fun time anyway. And so just, we got the night parade and it makes it even that much better. People can stay out for a while. You'll have some folks sometimes when our public works folks come in the morning, they're seeing folks go home from the night out before.
They're troopers. I don't know if I can handle it.
I can't either, man.
In Ocean Springs, we're starting something new.
An Ocean Springs community podcast.
Each month, tune in and join me, Cynthia Sutton.
And me, Tristan Ruppert, as we help you discover Ocean Springs. Our goal is to shine a light on some of the great activities going on in the community.
Check out the Ocean Springs Chamber of Commerce Main Street Tourism Bureau website and our social media outlets for more information.
Okay, you mentioned the city is going through growing pains. So there's always a lot going on, especially in Ocean Springs. People kind of think of it as just a kind of small, quiet town. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about that. Economic development, there's always things going on, and people, I don't know, sometimes think that Ocean Springs can't really grow. So, we don't really have a lot of space. We're our own unique town. So tell us a little bit about, your perspective. As mayor, you have actually taken a big role in that, and you've done a lot over the last couple of years related to that, getting everything ready.
Yeah. And as far as we're definitely got growing pains. So the way I've been kind of looking at it is, we keep. There's more and more services that are needed. There's more staff. There's just more manpower and such that's needed to, keep the same quality of service to our residents that they should expect. And so, what just comes along with that is that we have to just have more income, more revenue into the city. So, I think being able to expand the tax base, and I'm a big believer, and I think there's a big misconception that, the economy and the market is a fixed pie, and that if we bring a competitor in, he's just going to there's only a fixed amount of dollars.
He's taken away from somebody else that's been here,
which is not true. And the thing is, there's always going to be competition. This is capitalism. That's what happens. But when you bring in new markets, when you bring in new just anchors and attractions that people want to go to, I feel like it helps everybody. So I'm a big believer in the pie's not fixed. You can grow the pie in any way we can to make it easier, streamline the process. It's a good thing that you have to, make sure that you're mitigating properly when it comes to wetlands, because we want to make sure that we're being good stewards of the environment and not unnecessarily disturbing any ecosystems or anything like that. But to be able to do it in an efficient way to grow that out that way on the east end and just get development is very, very important. So we're doing a lot with our zoning. Different mixed use is happening a lot downtown. And that's the cool thing about Ocean Springs is that you can kind of, if you want to like more of that downtown, more dense living area, you got that, or you can go more towards the east end where it's more of a traditional neighborhood. So, we're working. We've done a lot to just bring new faces and new people into town, and I think we're doing a good job at growing the pie.
We actually recently did a story with you about some of y'all's efforts to grow that pie. Take us through that side of it. Y'all are getting creative and trying to find unique ways to, bring more people in and at the end of the day, bring more money to the bottom line. Mm-hmm. What are some of those efforts that y'all have already taken on?
So I could talk for hours on that. So one of the things we're doing most recently is the tax increment financing.
A plan that's been utilized to great success in other portions of the coast, like the Iberville and the Promenade. That's obviously something that worked out to great success for them, So obviously, is that what inspired y'all kind of to take a look at it?
It wasn't any one particular project or anything. I mean, it was just conversations, I've had with other professionals about, and I'll talk to just developers who, okay, what are the challenges that you're seeing throughout the coast and in Ocean Springs specifically that what can we do? And that's what I always how I always kind of approach problem solving, is just trying to be introspective and say, okay, what can we do better? What is your challenges? What's your beef with us? And so being able to, and that's the thing about the tax increment financing, is that you kind of take it case by case. Some projects it's going to make sense for, some projects not so much, but it's just the way I describe it is just another tool in our toolbox.
Mayor, obviously this is something that could be great for the city, but let's break it down. If a third grader was listening or a fifth grader, what is tax increment financing, and what good does it bring to the city of Ocean Springs?
So tax increment financing, and I'm still learning a lot from Butler Snow is who we've been working with on it, and so essentially it's so the city will you issue bonds, and that will go to pay for public improvements, and so the development that kind of sparked this idea or sparked, that we could use this, is there was a developer trying to come in, develop a subdivision, and the lift stations just weren't adequate. And so they were going to have to pay for the improvements, the public improvements to it. And so I'm thinking, what can we do? Because we're talking about public improvements, so they
shouldn't have to foot that bill. You're trying to help them come in and create something.
Right. So tax increment financing is a perfect way to issue these bonds to pay for it, and then dedicate. It's not a tax abatement per se, where you're forgiving taxes. You're you're more of redirecting and almost earmarking. I know that's kind of a bad word, but it's almost like you're earmarking.
No one's going to wash your mouth out with soap for using that one. But
I know federally they kind of frown on it. But yeah, you're kind of directing the taxes to pay for a specific improvement. So that was the example that I kept using and explaining it to the alderman. That was one of my biggest hurdles that I saw from developers, and I thought that tax increment financing could be a perfect tool for us to have our cake and eat it too, as far as getting a good development and getting some good infrastructure.
And there's plenty of good cake to eat in Ocean Springs, so we can all appreciate that. I mean, you talked earlier about wanting to kind of get to know the man behind the curtain, though. Obviously, you're the leader of the city.
Right.
We spoke earlier. What's it like for you, helping contribute to Ocean Springs and kind of putting your own mark on it?
Right.
I mean, it's good. Obviously, I grew up here. I'm a young mayor. I'm the second youngest in the state, so I think that comes with
a lot of pressure.
It comes with it's an interesting perspective. Like for instance, I remember whenever I got in, and quite frankly, the city was extremely vulnerable, cyber security wise. And I think that's one of those things where I came in, and even though I may not understand all the specific details about what firewall or what particular protections we need, I understand that this is a growing problem and growing concern. So that was one of the first things I did. And it's funny, I remember I'd already started on that, and then Pascagoula got hit, New Orleans got hit, and then everybody was, what are we doing? I was like, oh, well, actually, I've been working on this for 2 years. So, and I'm able to see kind of new trends, kind of the way a big part of what we've been discussing across the Gulf Coast and Mississippi in general, but especially along the Gulf Coast, is how do we keep young millennials here? How do we get young professionals, attract them to our area? And I think I have a good, there's a lot of walkability, there's a lot of amenities that are that millennials and younger people are attracted to.
But you got to have business as well for it.
You got to, you got to have. So it's
all about growing that pie.
It's growing the pie, yeah. And so it's just being able to take all those studies and take what I kind of intuitively know and work with what's already here to just kind of guide the direction we're going to that town that I know will be able to attract those young professionals and really grow our tax base. So, and I think my age also comes with, as far as, I got an office and I'm working with folks who have been with the city for as long as I've been alive sometimes. And I think one thing that I always try to do, just in general, and it's not because of my age or anything, but is try to stay humble and, know what you don't know and, trust people whenever you put people in positions of power, trust that they're going to do the right thing, trust that they know what they're doing. And so I'm big on delegating and just keeping people around you who are going to, work hard and I always want to, I'm big on trying to build coalitions. I try my best to really weigh out every situation, really think about everything from different perspectives, and really kind of, I don't like to act fast a lot of times. I like to chew on things. I like to really play the devil's advocate and think about, how could this policy that somebody wants, how could it be abused? Is there any unintended consequences? This person has a good argument. We need to consider this. So, it's just staying humble and trying to bring in as many voices as you can.
Well, with that being said, and your knowledge, your background, and what you just said about yourself, do you have anyone? You said you surround yourself, with people that are hardworking and inspiring. Do you have a mentor that you pull from? Do you have someone that you, take advice from or have learned from growing up?
That's an interesting question.
Because good leaders always surround themselves with strong people.
Yeah. I have certain people in my life. Of course, my parents, have taught me a lot. My mom, she grew up with 3 older brothers and in rural Louisiana. She was a police officer for 17 years, worked in law enforcement for a total of 25. So
you definitely could learn a lot from her.
Yeah. So she's not the damsel in distress type. She's definitely, if there's a door in front of her, she's going to kick it down and not ask questions. And then my dad, he's taught me a lot as far as, just setting a good example about, not sweating the small stuff, appreciating the here and now and, just staying humble. So yeah,
it's
definitely
pretty important in your role with all you have coming at you probably every day.
Yeah, so definitely my parents. Of course, there's different religious figures and celebrities or philosophers that I've gotten a lot from. I'm a big Thomas Jefferson fan. Consider myself a Jeffersonian. I've read a lot about him. Alan Watts is a philosopher I feel like I've learned a lot from. So, I could go down the list, and I think, there's a lot of people, you don't have to accept everything they do or say, hook, line, and sinker, but you can take the good.
You can learn something from anyone, and that's a mindset that not enough people have these days. But obviously, it's awesome to see who shapes you and the beliefs that, have helped bring you up and obviously are helping shape the city of Ocean Springs now with your leadership.
So, yeah, it's I just try to take the good from everybody and forget the bad and recognize where the bad is in me and try to do better. I think that know thyself is knowing yourself is the hardest thing to do. So trying to be as unbiased and look at yourself in the mirror and you're not always going to make the right decision or make the right diagnosis, but as long as you're trying, working to better yourself and ask those hard questions about yourself.
Makes a good leader.
Yeah.
So, as always, we invite the community to stay in touch with us through the Ocean Springs Chamber and the City of Ocean Springs. You guys are exploring some new opportunities with your websites and things like that. So there's always some things going on. So thank you for taking time out of the day
and
being here with us.
Appreciate you having us.